I really like this over 2.5 minutes of control time. That's a nice pick six one right there. That might be one of my favorite.
Under 34.5 significant strikes, he could win really efficiently.
Round one win.
You know, I think this fight could last. So I like the over in this fight, Dan. I think most people think Vallejos is going to get it done inside the distance. I kind of like the over for pick six. I like one of my favorite pick sixes on the board. And it's, you brought up the reason why, but Zaleski dos Santos less than 52.5 strikes. There's multiple paths where this happens. First of all, he's kind of low volume anyways, with all the movement and everything he does in the cage. And then you've got Neil Magny, who wants to hold you against the cage and like slow you down. And then you've also got the fact that Neil Magny's been finished early in his last two fights. So any of those things can get us under this number. This is my favorite fight here. I like Rimovic's significant strikes over in pick six. I know 89.5, 3-round fight. It sounds like a lot, but it's kind of more the style of both these guys and the fact that I think they're both super tough. We could see a war here. One of my other favorite pick six, Tatsuro Taira, under on significant strikes. There's just so many paths for him to get there. Even in 5 rounds, that's how little this dude likes to throw. He is getting to his grappling, and that's what he wants to do. What is up? Talking a little UFC action here on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. We got the full crew today, finally back talking Walker versus Ming Yang. Dan, myself, JSU, and of course, JBC, who's been traveling the world, I feel like, getting his UFC action in, finals, live finals for DFS. JBC, you finally ready to settle down? Get a couple back-to-back shows?
No, I'm in the Cayman Islands next week.
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He's here now. So, Dan, we got him for at least 1 week.
I'll take it. They don't have internet in the Caymans?
No, I might be able to do the show from down there.
You should.
We'll see.
Probably be pretty cool down there, too, with the with a little background down there, too. Probably be pretty sweet show. But obviously bringing you the show early, not our normal Saturday time, because the card is at 3 a.m. Eastern time over here, obviously. So that is why, if you are getting up early, if you are an early UFC warrior for watching this card, like I will be, I don't know about Dan and JBC. What are you guys doing? Are you going to be getting up?
I'm going to be staying up.
Staying up for lock for sure, and then probably waking up for like the last couple, and then lead right into college football. It's like,
yeah.
The last time
that's fair.
Last time there was a card in China, I fell asleep on the couch at some point, and when I had woken up, Xi Ming had won by head kick. I woke up to that score and was like, the fuck? It's very confusing.
I forgot about that. That was a pretty sick one too. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I do feel like we might get a little less love because I feel like some people just won't want to wake up for this card, which I can't blame them. But the diehards, diehards out there. I mean, no naps. You know what I mean? They'll wake up at 2 a.m. and just roll right through to college football. So that's how we're going to do it. Dan, you wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff we hit on last week. So please be my guest and talk a little bit about last week. I'm still sore from Diane Barbosa not winning outright. It really still hurts me. It irritates me that you can dominate on the ground and on the feet and lose a decision. So I'm still tilted about that. But please let us know some of the stuff that we hit on during the show.
Yeah, that was a close fight. I honestly could have seen that one scored either way, but if I'd been betting Barbosa with you guys, I would probably feel the same way you do. But man, last week we definitely hit on Hamzat. I feel like we talked about We talked about just how dominant he had the potential to be. I think we were mostly expecting an early finish. Most people were expecting an early finish, but I do believe we touched on the fact that Hamzat has taken steps to improve his cardio, and that a dominant 5-round decision was also on the table. And I believe
he held himself back, I think, in order to preserve his cardio.
Yeah, he scored 242, put up the highest DraftKings score of all time. So that was one of the easier calls. I think one of the better calls that we made, though, was kind of selling Chase Hooper. He was getting a lot of love. I think he came in at or above 40% owned. And we talked about all the ways that he could fail. And one of them was he could, he's not as good on the feet as Alexander Hernandez, and that he could get knocked the fuck out. That's exactly what happened with 1 second left in round 1, which was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Alexander Hernandez, takedown defense, 82%. It's the highest in the division against a guy that can't fucking stand with him. Getting plus 300 on that was a gift.
Well, and Chase didn't even try to shoot a takedown. I mean, he did. He shot one shitty takedown from way far out at one point, but he wanted to test his striking. Which, that we talk about it all the time. These fighters, they don't necessarily always follow the path of least resistance as we see them, because they can just be stupid. What else? Drakkar Klose beating up on old man Barbosa. I thought that was a pretty good call. We followed the steam there. That worked out. And yeah, I think we were probably on Aaron Pico here. I don't know if JC, were you on Murphy or Pico?
No, I was on Murphy.
That was looking really good until it wasn't looking so good.
Yeah, if you were an Aaron Pico guy, he did exactly what you wanted him to do. He just got caught. He was doing what you wanted out of him. You just, like I said before, when you've got a guy like him and he's going against a dude who's just he is just better on the feet, but the volume's not always there, or he's defending takedowns. Like, he's gonna have to catch you, and he caught him. Like, that's just what happened. So yeah, I was on Murphy. That was one of my better calls. The Chase Hooper getting knocked out thing, I know you guys bet Hernandez, so I wasn't on the betting, but I was on the being lower on him in DFS. I don't think I ended up playing any Hooper, to be honest with you. I look back.
I know in the 2K I was the only person that played Hernandez. So that was not like a common thing, which I was shocked, because I thought he was the best play down there.
Hernandez was like, he came in at like 13% or something.
Yeah, and I was like in the 30s.
Yeah, same. So yeah, man, last week overall, I don't think any of us got there.
Where it went wrong, everything went perfect until Carlos Prates hit that fucking elbow.
Yeah,
we learned that elbows are dangerous. Yeah, we did learn that elbows are dangerous.
And Murphy hitting the elbows turned the night from like I was about to win a goddamn fortune to like break even.
Yeah, Lerone Murphy was a tough one because I mostly faded him. I was actually pretty shocked to see him come in at 30% owned.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw he came in at 30% for no reason whatsoever, I should have known.
It was the pricing though, Dan. I told you about
it. Kind of had to.
Everyone loves those mid-tier fighters, like those mid-price fighters.
It was 50.
Yeah, people just
he was
the better DFS play because of the takedowns, obviously, and his relentless style. But that brings. We always talk about it like that style is going to bring a better fight for Murphy, and he caught him. So I think it's the pricing, though. I think it's what JBC always talks about with people not wanting to play the really cheap shitters. So they want to find cheap guys, but that are closer line fights and take them. So it feels like they have like a better floor as opposed to just boom bust.
But that's the thing. They're playing for floor in a contest where that's like top heavy as fuck. It makes no sense.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, I think that's why a lot of people click the Murphy.
Oh, it's 100% why. You're right.
Yeah.
We ran bad on the Murphy elbow. We also kind of ran bad. Well, not ran bad, but Drakkar Klose. That's how I ended up so low on Murphy, or, this was intentional, but I played way more Drakkar Klose.
I think Klose might have still been on the winner.
Might
have been both of them.
I'm not sure about that, but I mean, he was close to like a first round. He was close to an early finish there.
Right.
He just didn't pursue it. He decided to clinch up instead because, again, fighters can be stupid. So that was last week, man. I thought last week
stinks. I hate watching Drakkar Klose. I literally he stinks. It's just Edson's old too. They just They both
That
stunk.
fight was actually surprisingly entertaining, especially
It
being
was
there live.
it was
People were going nuts for
entertaining.
it.
It was just annoying because like no one could finish the other one. They'd
Yeah.
like hurt each other and then like nothing, like no finish. It's just like, okay, we're gonna score like shit in DFS pretty much. And
Yeah.
I was over on the fight, so that annoyed me a little bit. But and then Michael Venom Page, never betting this dude again by KO. Like I will never bet this dude by KO ever.
I thought
again.
he had him at the beginning.
He did, JBC. He'll knock you down, but he'll never go and finish you. It's like what you were talking about with Hamza, how he was staying safe in the wrestling and grappling the entire time. He never really took a chance to like finish the fight pretty much. It was like similar with MVP. He'd knock him down, and then instead of like going in and trying to like punch him, he'd let him back up. Come on.
He knows that he probably thinks for him it's a bigger risk to go down there and he could get subbed.
The thing with MVP
For sure. Yeah.
is like I was tilted in the moment that those weren't counted as knockdowns because I needed a good score from MVP at that point in the night. But looking back on it, it's like MVP, he does have these tricky ways of sort of like tripping you and pushing you down and not like properly punching you in the head and knocking you down because like he fucked you up, but like he'll get you down. It looks like a knockdown, but his opponent isn't hurt. So that's why he's not going to follow them down to the mat, just to like piggyback on that point.
No, I get it. I'm just saying like when he
karate,
has
baby.
He doesn't even try to
you
finish,
hurts though. When he has you hurt though, he's never trying to, and it might be a little of what JB said about not wanting to go down to the ground with a lot of people, but it's like, okay, Jared Cannonier, I know he's better than him on the ground, but he's not like dangerous off of his, are we saying like he's super dangerous off his back? Like you have this dude hurt, he's trying to be like showboaty. And when it's like, dude, like go finish somebody, like finish someone in the UFC, please. And
Jared
he just couldn't do it. So
he was not touching him on the feet. So I understand wanting to keep the fight on the feet for MVP. Like he was kind of making a joke out of Cannon here.
How do you guys feel about the idea? I was talking to somebody about this after the event that they made MVP fight at 185 because they're about to just feed him to Hamzat right now.
Oh God, if they feed him to Hamza, he's gonna die.
Because that, it's like if the Imavov fight, like if Hamzat wants to fight in Abu Dhabi, right? If the Imavov fight, if the winner is hurt or not able to do that, you look down the list, MVP's really the only one that would make any sense. And Hamzat would just steamroll him and MVP would get his payday. And I'm starting to think more and more that's what they're going to do.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's what they do. I also think that putting RDR and Fluffy together was honestly made because they want Hamzat to have someone fed to him. And those two guys are probably his hardest two fights because of their styles. So let's make those two guys beat up on each other. We'll get the winner of that. And then we can be like, maybe they give him the Kaio winner fight first and then the RDR winner second. So like they get Hamza for a decent while. Cause I think if anyone's going to beat him, it's going to be the person who wins the RDR Fluffy fight. I think one of those two guys has the best chance.
I think RDR beats him.
I think the best chance to me is Barrio getting a sub like with Jits on the ground.
Maybe. I just think Hamza's like, I think Hamza is just too like good. You saw him against Duplessis. He just like stayed safe the whole time. Yeah. And against someone who's more dangerous, what do you think he's going to do? He's just going to stay safe again. And he showed he can go 5 rounds. Yeah. Honestly, he could have probably went 2 more rounds.
He kind of showed him to go 5 rounds. He didn't really have to do much of anything. So like,
all he had to do was get a hold of him, Dan. That's like
DDP wasn't making work as well.
Not like DDP's a weak guy.
No, that's what I was listening to someone he was breaking down his fight after, and he was like, honestly, like Hamza was just like shooting from wherever just to get a hold of him to then get him to the ground somehow. They weren't like amazing takedowns
because DDP hit him with probably the hardest uppercut he probably could, and Hamza just ate it.
And he hit him with a knee, I think, at one point too.
Yeah,
and he just
ate all of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're going to have some dangerous shit on the ground and some serious cardio to hang with. Like Dan said, you're going to have to make him work wrestling, like Kamaru Usman did. Like you're going to have to make him work like that. Where
there's only so many people that can do that.
There's not many.
I mean, DeRitter is a big enough guy that I think that he could cause him some issues. I still think Hamza would win, but yeah, no, I'm thinking more and more. You know, if the Barrio fight doesn't end quickly, where the winner is just like completely fine to fight again in October, that it's gonna be Michael Page.
I could see it. Did you see the video of him before the fight taking down DC, or not taking him down, but like picking him up?
Yeah.
Did you see DC's face? He was like, what the fuck? Like he was stunned by how strong he was. He was just like,
that's funny because that's exactly
insane.
what I do to Sully every time I see him, just to make him uncomfortable. I just walk up to him and start like grappling him. He gets so uncomfortable and pissed. And I'm like, he does what I do.
So I haven't seen Sully in person, but I think I've seen him. He's skinnier, right?
Built like Dan. Him and Dan have the same build.
Okay, so like tall and skinnier.
No way, dude. I'm way more buff than Sully.
Shots fired, Sully. Appreciate you, Eric. Appreciate you very much. Love to hear that. All right, let's get into this fight card because it is a big fight card, and we want to get through these fights here. Now, I will just say, if they made a fight card specifically to challenge my name pronunciations, this would be the card where they really try and throw me for a loop. So I think the over-under for botched last names should be like set at what, 3.5, 2.5? What's the line?
You got some layups, like there's a Sue and a Yu and a Young, and then there are some guys without last names.
They're actually letting you off quite easy.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I disagree with you. I get what you're saying about the U. I'm not going to call him you though. I'll go for the first name.
If you look at the fighters that are 8,500, 8,300, 8,200, the last names are Sue, Yu, Young, and then the guy that's 8,300 is Sue, Young, Yu.
Wait, what?
Whoa,
so Sue Madarji, Yu Soo Young, Gage Young, and then one guy's name is Soo Young Yu, which is those three.
Oh, you're
words.
Right. Oh, you're right. I didn't even realize that. You're fucking right. Crazy. Yeah, and that down goes JSU. This is the card. Down goes JSU. I did not realize that though. That's pretty wild. All right. Well, we start off the card with, I think, one of the more challenging duos when it comes to name pronunciations here. We got Salty Baldiev, 8,700 on DraftKings versus Nurgaziev. Is it Nurgaziev?
It's one.
Nurgazai.
Damn it. 7,500 for Nurgazai. You always got to start out strong here, people. So you always got to start out with a
you did get Sada Baldiev or Sada Baldiev.
We'll give him that one. It's Sadi Baldiev. I think it's Sadi Baldiev, but could be wrong. Both these guys coming off kind of disappointing outings. Sadi Baldiev against Budai, but that was up in weight. This is going to be back where I think he should be at 205. So that's big for him. And Ribeiro getting that sub against Nurgazai is just that was a bad look all around. He was a big favorite. Nurgazai has that like tick though, guys, and he's like smaller, like shorter than a lot of these guys that he's fighting. So like, you know how like normally there's like the hand fighting going on? I thought it was really interesting in his last fight. They were like talking about he doesn't really hand fight because his front hand is just constantly touching his face because of the tick he has. So instead of like hand fighting, he's like constantly wiping at his eye, and you'll see it, which is big because Salty Baldiev is a massive guy. He's got to reach. So he struggles with like the range at times. And I've noticed that in his fights, and he's kind of low volume as is. So that's my one worry about Nurgazai is just that one thing. He doesn't hand fight. The range he struggles with at times. And I could see Salty Baldiev taking advantage of that. He does seem dangerous. He's just defensively with his striking, he's really bad too. So I think this is a tough first fight. I do lean Saldi Baldiev, but I don't have a strong take on this one from a betting side. JBC, where are you at on this fight?
I think we're getting a discount on Nurgazai because he lost his debut and the tick and everything else that went on there. I still think his skills are significantly better than the vast majority of guys in this division. So I'm, market's coming with me as well. I'm going to go with Nurgazai to win this.
Yeah. I could see it. I could see him getting a KO here. I just don't know if the volume's good. Like, if he doesn't get a KO,
it's got to be a knockout for fantasy. Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, he's like 7,500, and we might get a lot of decisions.
Yeah, I just think in a decision,
like he's not quite the wrestler and grappler that Saldi Baldiev is, but he's capable of landing a few takedowns for sure, getting some ground and pound, getting some control time, but he will most likely need a knockout.
I do like the strike number. 43.5 seems pretty good.
You like the more over there? Yeah, I like that one for pick 6. I also like the less than 1.5 takedowns. I don't think he's gonna be shooting against. I don't think he's gonna be shooting that much. But Dan, where are you at with this fight?
Yeah, I'm like heavily leaning toward the Nurgazai side for DFS and to bet. Steam's going towards Nurgazai. Saldi Baldiev at 8,700. You most definitely need a finish from him, and his inside the distance line is quite a bit weaker than Nurgazai's. At least that's what I have here. No, it's not, but plus 180 for 8,700. We don't really have like that many super potent finishers on the card, so that's workable. And Saldi Baldiev does have multiple takedown upside. He's got grappling skills.
I think he gets steamed in DFS.
Who? Nurgazai?
Saldi Baldiev.
Really? Why?
Because the finish numbers are also bad.
They are pretty bad. You don't think people are just going to mostly? I think people are just going to mostly
jam in Sergey Pavlovich.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so.
Right.
I mean, the finishing lines on this fight, just in general, I believe the over under is like 2.5 rounds for a light heavyweight fight with two guys who, can hit pretty hard. So maybe the under is a play there, but yeah, I like this fight a good bit, but I definitely lean like the Nurgazai side just for pricing. And, he's plus 275 to win inside the distance, which stronger value at 7,500 than plus 180 at 8,700. So I'm just going to lean in that direction. And like Mark said, just kind of, I feel like this is a buy low spot on Nurgazai because in his last fight, if I remember correctly, he was probably like 30+%. He busted. He got subbed by Brendanson Ribeiro, a Kimura from bottom, which is just like laughably bad. But yeah.
Hence why the no takedowns.
What's that?
Hence why he's not going to get any takedowns.
Right.
Yeah. I like the less than on the takedowns too. I think that's a good one too.
Yeah, that might be the first pick 6.
Maybe I'll click it now. We'll click them as we go and then go back to it after.
Bet some unders.
Yeah, we got to bet a few unders on this card. I will say that you don't normally see for like two of these bigger guys. Like you don't normally see like the over is juiced at 2.5, just a little bit, but that's kind of telling you something here about possibly no finishes. I will say Nurgazai has that like sneaky leg kick. He throws like a head kick and it's fast. It's super sneaky. Caught someone on the Contender Series with it, knocked them out. And, I could see something like that where he's low volume, but he catches them with something sneaky like a head kick and puts them down and out. But if this goes past like a round and a half, I don't think you're getting the value you're going to want for DFS out of maybe both of these guys with that volume. So that's the first fight. Pick 6. Mark likes the significant strikes over, and we all like I don't know about Dan. Dan, do you see anything you like?
I think the under takedowns is probably the strongest one there.
Okay, and we all like the under takedowns. So that's the first fight on the card. Let's go to the next fight where, depending on where you're looking, if you're looking on DraftKings or DK Sportsbook, this name might be flipped. But Zhao Long here, plus 100 on DK Sportsbook versus Su Young Yu, minus 120. So we're getting, close to a pick'em fight here on DraftKings. Yu is 8,300, Long 7,900 here. I do like this fight. I think this fight I feel very confident that they go to a decision here. Both these guys are experienced. They have a good amount of fights under their belt for guys that are under 30. And like I think like 4 of their last 5 fights have all gone to decision or at least into the 3rd round, 5 of them. So, the higher up in competition they go, they're doing a lot of getting to the cards here. I like the fight time over on pick 6 at over 14.5. I think that's a good pick 6. And I like Long here. I think Long can withstand the takedowns early of you and then kind of keep the pressure and put it on him late, because Yu's not really that great of a striker. And if you can keep this standing, I think Long has the advantage over you in the stand-up. You might have the advantage on the ground with the wrestling, so you might be the better DFS play from an upside standpoint if he can get those takedowns. But I'm on the Long side. I'm betting Long, and I'm going to be a little heavier on him in DFS. Dan, I'll go to you first. Where are you at with this fight?
I am leaning towards the long side as well. That's where the steam is going as well. Surprise, surprise. Both of these guys pretty much lack finishing upside. So you're going to need a ton of wrestling and grappling from either guy for them to be optimal decision. I think you're going to get it. Like both of these guys, they have they like go out there with a ton of wrestling and grappling volume. They fight up in pace. Yu is the stronger wrestler and grappler, but I don't think that his advantage is like that pronounced that Long can't have some success. And like you said, I think before, Long is the better striker on the feet. He is the more active striker, both on the feet and on the ground. So I think Long has more ways to win here. Yu is going to have to just rely mostly on his grappling, but I think Long can compete for the optimal, like with a decision, later round finish. And it's going to have to be wrestling and grappling heavy. But like I said, he's live to land way more striking volume in the process as well.
Yeah, I agree. JBC, can we make it 3 for 3 on Long?
Yeah, I'm big on Zhao Long here. I don't think Yu's going to be able to really control him the way that people think. His wrestling isn't weak at all, and he's much better on the feet. So I'm all about Zhao Long as an underdog here.
I love it. And I think this line it keeps going in his favor. And I think, when it's all said and done and we get close to this fight, it's going to be pretty much a pick 'em. So if you like Long, I get him right now while he's still plus money. He's plus 100 on DraftKings. So it's closing in shortly here. So if you like him, I think getting him now is probably the best before he maybe flips to a favorite. Maybe it's just a straight pick 'em, but I think it's getting there. So we're all on Long. Pick 6, guys. Do you see anything? I talked about the fight time more. Do you guys see anything you like?
I mean, if we like Zhao Long to win 60.5 fantasy points, he'll clear that.
Yep.
But I think the strikes may be the better play there.
Long or you?
Long.
Yeah.
Long. You guys like that more than fight time? You rather go to significant strikes? I'm cool with that.
The fight time is a 0.7 multiplier.
Yeah, let's take the full multiplier. Let's take the full point on that. We'll get the significant strikes. We can always take them out at the end too. All we need is 6, so we can always come back and take it out. But we'll go significant strikes for now. That's Long versus Yu. Let's go to the next fight. I always, whenever Weston Wilson comes up, I always talk up Dan because Dan gave us out that like plus 800 by submission last time out when he was a massive dog against Sergey. And, Weston Wilson's got to be a fan favorite on this show here. He's a massive dog again, plus 750 over on DK Sportsbook here against Yiza, who's minus 1,200. And that's pretty friggin' wild. The under 1.5 is minus 140. JBC, you said you think Yiza might just be a slam pretty much at this point, but where are you at with Yiza and Wilson?
Yeah, I think this is a pretty big mismatch. I think they're feeding Weston Wilson to Yiza here. The pick 6 stuff for this is interesting. The 15.5 significant strikes for Yiza, the 105.5 fantasy points. It's tough. It's tough because I think those are both pretty fair numbers, but it gun to my head, I do like the over on 105.5. I think he's just going to destroy him.
Yeah, I kind of like the under 105. I just think it's too high of a number for Yizha, who's not. I know he's a massive favorite. I just don't think he's like that good. I know why the line is where it is. It's because of the way Weston Wilson fights. He fights like kill or be killed. Dan, I think that maybe if this is just a grappling match, which it could be because both guys like to grapple, maybe Weston Wilson can get out of the first round here. Maybe get subbed in the second. And does that get us over the 105? I'm not sure. So, yeah, the significant strike line's interesting, but
I mean, God, man, I wish I loved anything as much as Weston Wilson loves getting finished in the first round. Like, that's all this guy does is he's either getting finished in the first round, getting his head bounced off the canvas or choked out, which I see a lot of people saying like, oh, well, you know, his previous appearances were against, you know, Jean Silva, Joe Anderson Brito. Of course, he's going to get his head caved in, whatever. He gets knocked out. No, he gets submitted too. Like, he may be a primary grappler, but his defensive grappling is probably just as bad as his defensive striking. So, I mean, I agree with JBC here, and it's not exactly a hot take with a minus 1,200 favorite, but I think Izaz should probably be able to get him out of there pretty early. The flip side of that, though, is at 6,300, Weston Wilson. Like, the only way he wins is if he manages to snatch up like a first round submission. So to me, 6,300 is probably going to be like single digit owned. I don't mind getting to like 10-15% of Weston Wilson just because he can snatch up an arm.
You like lighting money on fire?
Yeah, I love it. But like, I will say, you mentioned that we gave out like the sub prop last time he fought. That was a significantly better matchup for him than this is, because Jekasaragi has absolutely zero grappling, and apparently zero striking as well. So maybe 15% is a little aggressive. Maybe
he also came out there as aggressive as any fighter I've ever seen, pretty much, outside of like the Derek Lewis like flying knee. Pretty much, like, he was trying to just kill that dude right off the bat, and he failed miserably. But I agree with them, Westlake, in the chat. Like, Yiza is terrible on the feet. I just think Weston Wilson is also terrible on the feet, but both guys are bad on the feet. I 100% agree. That's why I think if Weston Wilson, like, it might be somewhere where like he doesn't immediately go for the grappling right off the bat, and maybe that helps. If you don't like Yiza at the price, or you like unders on Yiza, maybe that helps us get out of that first round. Weston Wilson doesn't feel like he has to get that early submission or he's going to die, which is how he fights most of his fights. He feels like he needs to get to the grappling or it's bad news. So we'll see.
I want to touch on one thing here. This comment,
yeah.
Price matters at 9,900. He has to completely nut. I don't know that he has to completely nut, because you have Johnny Walker 6,800 plus 300 inside the distance. Kiefer Crosby 6,900 plus 350 inside the distance. Kyle Dawkins 7K plus 425 inside the distance. Waldo Cortez Acosta 7,300 350 inside the distance. All these guys could win by knockout. So you may not end up needing that insane of a score from Yizha compared to what you normally would need from somebody at 9,900, because there are so many dogs at the bottom who not only are live, but live to finish and score big.
Yeah, there's also a huge gap between Yizha and Zhang Mingyang, who's the next most expensive guy at 9,400. So, like, in terms of opportunity cost, like for paying up, there isn't really a whole lot there. There's no like 9,700, 9,600, 9,500 option. So, I mean, my stuff is just jamming Yizha.
Yeah,
because of these finishing numbers. And people will get scared off because of the price. I've only got him projected to be like
people like to play the mid shit. We talked about it earlier.
That's what it is.
If everybody's gonna play fucking Su Young Yu, give me Yizha and fucking Dawkins.
Which also, you know, you want to say Weston Wilson lighting money on fire. You know, Joseph Morales last week, 6,800. You probably wouldn't. You might have said like something similar. And we talked about how he was.
We talked about it. We talked about it. We said he's
guy.
live. Yeah, he's a grappler. We talked about it. He's a grappler.
He dominated that fight.
He dominated. Yeah, he dominated it. But
yeah.
All right, that's Yizha Wilson. I think we kind of broke that down perfectly. Let's go to another interesting fight here. We got Michel Pereira 9,200 versus Kyle Dawkins, 7K. Pereira right now, minus 270 against Kyle Dawkins. But Pereira's disappointed in his last two fights here, obviously against very good competition. So it's not like he was fighting slouches in Abus and Hernandez, Fluffy. But, didn't look like normal Michel Pereira. But now he gets Kyle Dawkins. And Kyle Dawkins, had a stint in the UFC, then went back to the regional scene, won a few fights by finish, and now he's back. But they're giving him Michel off of 2 losses to really tough competition, and I expect Michel to come in and dominate. There's just the levels are different between, even if Michel has looked bad, there has to be a massive gap between who Michel has been fighting and who Kyle has been fighting. I think Pereira gets it done inside the distance. I'm all over Pereira. JBC, where are you at?
I like Pereira a good amount for fantasy, just because I think the finish is there. But Dawkins at 7K, I mean, at 425 inside the distance, as I mentioned, I'm going to be getting a lot of both of these guys. I don't really have a strong opinion for a bet on the fight, but if you're playing more than one DFS lineup, you definitely want both sides here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have both sides. I mean, I always have both sides, but I think I'm gonna be probably lighter on the Pereira side than you and a little heavier on Dawkins, just because like Pereira, he obviously has early knockout upside. He's super explosive in the early going, but he definitely tends to fade. Cardio is a huge issue. And I think like if Dawkins can avoid getting knocked out early and take this into the later rounds, then he's live to submit Pereira, who is like he doesn't really have the best grappling. And he, during his comeback run, Ihor Potieria, Mikey O, Andre Petrosky, Ponzinibbio, these guys they're not grapplers. Like they're strikers, and Petrosky's a wrestler. So, and recently when he got matched up against Anthony Hernandez, we all saw how that played out. I obviously don't
let him die out there.
Yeah, I obviously don't think Dawkins is anywhere near that, but I think he's got enough grappling skills, and he's been in the CFFC finishing guys. So I think he's got enough finishing ability to take out Pereira here, who has looked really fucking bad, man. He's looked terrible.
In my mind, Pereira is just so much bigger than him. Like so much bigger than him. Yeah,
size matters for sure. And like Dawkins, the durability is a major concern. You can't be getting finished by Eric Anders. It's just not no good.
As far as pick 6 though, that 77.5 is a bad number.
I agree. That's what I was looking at.
If he's minus 256 and even money to finish inside the distance, pure math play, Pereira over 77.5 is one of the stronger pick 6 plays.
Yeah, I agree. Dan, you like that too? I like that at that number.
Yeah. I mean, I think Pereira wins, but it's definitely a winnable matchup for Dawkins.
And he could get 77.5 in a decision if it's not like a lock, but it's definitely like on the table.
Yep, he could definitely get that in a decision. But obviously we prefer a finish. If he gets a finish though at all, then he's getting over that number for sure. So I like it. I'm with you on that. And I don't mind sprinkling some Dawkins on the other side just because of the way Pereira fights. And he's kind of unpredictable. Yeah, he's reckless. So I like it. Like Dan said, he could catch him and get him in a grappling situation where Dawkins has the advantage. So, it can happen. I just think the level of comp, like, it's just a massive step up and step down for these two guys. And I feel like it's going to show, but we'll see.
Dawkins is also, he's in on short notice as well. So that doesn't help.
Yeah, definitely not. All right, next fight here on the card, we've got Austin Hubbard, 7,100 for Hubbard versus Rong Zhu, 9,100 for Rong Zhu, sitting at minus 270. Again, here, Hubbard plus 220 over on DK Sportsbook. Here, Austin Hubbard, I feel like even though Rong Zhu should be the rightful favorite, I feel like that line is a little wide. Just because Hubbard always seems to like dog out and fight in close fights. Now he loses a lot of close fights, but there's a ton of like split decisions recently on his record. And that just tells you like he is in fights a lot, and maybe in fights where they don't expect him to be in, but it's just the way he fights, man. He doesn't stop. And if this goes to the cards, I could see another split decision, which I do think Rongju wins, but I think Austin Hubbard's not a terrible play at 7,100, just because even in a decision win, which is how I think he would win if he did, like that'll still play in DFS. So I don't mind taking some shots on Hubbard. I do think Rongju wins, but I think the line is a little wide for me. JBC, what do you think?
Rongju has a tendency to fight down to his opponents. So I'm completely with you. I think the line's too wide. Purely on a skill differential tip, Rongju, yeah, he's a lot better than Austin Hubbard. But again, he fucks around. We've seen him like celebrate and like try and taunt his opponent and then lose a decision after he did that, and get cut from the UFC for it. So I'm not the most confident in Rongju, especially up there priced with Aljo and Pereira. So I like Hubbard a lot more. Not as good of a DFS play as Dawkins, Crosby, and Walker, but still definitely viable. And he'll probably get squeezed a bit with Ortega being down there in a 5-rounder. So yeah, I'm betting on Hubbard, and I tend to like Hubbard more than Rongju here. Yeah,
I like it. I also think in the beginning he's going to be defending takedowns. I think Hubbard's so it's going to slow the volume. If you think Hubbard is winning fight, then Zhu wrong. That is good. Zhu wrong. All right, Matt. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I like that. By the way, how did I miss this here? Benair -400 against JBC. You think Benair's -400?
That seems a little wild.
He's got to be way taller than me.
He's definitely taller than you. I'm pretty sure he's skinny.
But
he's a little
way
bit taller.
I could.
Yeah,
I could just do him like I do Sully and just ragdoll him.
That's what I'm saying. Like you might have him there. So I don't know. He's
220. He's not that skinny. Nah, he's kicking.
No way, you're 220.
If he's 220, he's kicking my ass.
Oh, if he's 220, he's whooping you. I don't believe him. No shot.
I don't even weigh 220. That's crazy.
No way.
JBC would have to cut. Yeah, JBC would.
No, Benair is heavier than me. That's what the.
I don't believe him. I'm telling bullshit.
Benair's like fucking 20 pounds on me.
Dan, I think he's 6'2", like 180. I think he might be 6'2". I just don't know if he's 220. I'm just saying. I don't know. Well, whatever.
Damn, that's probably true.
What are you gonna do? Pick six line, guys. With Hubbard and Rongju, you guys see anything on the board that you like?
I was just gonna say, I think I like Rongju a little bit more than JBC for DFS. Like, I think he's got slate breaking upside if he can find a finish here. And like, I know Hubbard has not been knocked out, and Rongju has kind of been more of a striker, but he's also got some pretty good wrestling and grappling skills. So I think if he can get Hubbard down, and like Hubbard, his takedown defense has looked better since he's come back to the UFC, but it hasn't really been tested truly. I think Rongju will probably be one of the stronger wrestling tests that he's faced since coming back. So if Rongju can get this to the ground, I think he can control him. I think he can ground and pound him. And I just really like Rongju's aggression and his volume. So I think he's viable. Obviously, it's like really hard to prioritize him because his finishing number, he's plus 210 to win inside the distance, which is quite a bit weaker than the guys priced above him. But I don't know. I just like his pace, and you're getting an ownership discount because of that weaker finishing number. So 18% for a guy who has slate smashing ceiling, I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think he's finishing Hubbard. So if he's not finishing Hubbard,
he could submit him.
He could. I think if there's going to be wrestling and grappling, though, I think it's on the Hubbard side. I don't think it's on the Rongju. I think Rongju's going to have the massive advantage on the feet. He's going to know that. So, like, his speed is just going to be an advantage because most people do. So,
I think regardless, though, of who initiates the exchanges, if there is wrestling and grappling, I really like Rongju to kind of, come out of those on top, so to speak, and literally.
I just don't think Hubbard's that
good.
I'm with JVC on this one. Hubbard's a dog. In a dog fight that goes to decision, even if he loses, I don't know if Rongju's covering the 9,100. That's my issue.
Hubbard's a dog who's lost his last 2 fights. I don't know, man. He just Hubbard. It's impossible for me to
You make it like Hernandez and Medeiros. Are we really?
I was gonna come out here and trash him for being old, but he's only 33. This guy looks like he's pushing 40 when he fights, dude. It's just I don't know.
Dan hates olds. Dan hates olds, and then he bet everything on who was the chick that you liked that lost? The one that not everything.
We did not bet everything on Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, me too. But she was clubbing the shit out of her.
You loved her though. You loved her, and I was like, Dan, you can't love her. She's an old. You can't love her in this spot. She's an old.
I love the way she moves forward and just fucking throws bombs.
I thought you won that fight.
You mean the way she was a punching bag, just getting her face jabbed off and 1-2'd like the shit.
She was landing the more significant strikes. She was doing more.
Yeah, she was doing heavy damage.
She was eating a lot of strikes, is what she was doing. She was absolutely eating
jabs. She was never in danger.
She is just such a bully when it comes to fighting. It is fun watching her fight. For a female fighters, she is definitely one of the funner. Just I don't give a fuck. Just walk forward and just wing punches. Don't even care. Screw throwing straight. I'm just gonna wing them as fast as I can and as hard as I can and try and knock you out. But all right, that was a good Rongju, Hubbard.
I think that the pick six here. I think the pick six here is the exact same logic as the last fight. It's got to be Rongju over 77.5.
It feels like a light number. You think he can get over that in a decision? Do we think he can get over?
Totally.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. His pace and output.
Because finish is auto over 77.5. Decision is probably 50-50. And him being 272 on the money line, I think that's at least a 60% proposition, 77.5.
All right. Fair enough. You sold me.
Decision last time out, barely wrestled or grappled. He did score a knockdown, but he scored 96 with or he got a reversal too. But it's kind of performance that you watch and you're like, oh, that'll probably be 70s, 80s, and then it ends up being 96, pushing 100. That's the kind of shit that Rongju I think is capable of.
All right, so we took that Rongju over on fantasy points, 77.5. Next fight here on the card, Charles Johnson plus 180 on DK Sportsbook versus Loner Kavanaugh minus 218. Charles Johnson, they use him as the gatekeeper for prospects. They put him against all these tough ass opponents. So respect to him.
He
but
fucking knocked out Joshua Van.
Yeah, I mean Charles Johnson's a good fucking fighter. I don't like this fight for him. I do think that plus 180 is a decent number if you want to bet Charles Johnson. But I just really like Kavanaugh as a prospect. I think he's really good. He's patient. He looks for his shots. He doesn't rush anything. He kind of fights like an older fighter, even though he's, a little younger and stuff like that. And he hasn't fought as much, obviously, as Charles Johnson. So I think he wins. I think he wins by decision, though. I respect Charles Johnson enough here, but I do think Kavanaugh finds a way to win this fight. Dan, let's go to you first here. What do you like with Kavanaugh and Johnson?
Yeah, I'm not big on Kavanaugh for DFS. I mean, he doesn't really produce too much offense. And he's not really much of a finisher. He's been pretty disappointing just from a fantasy standpoint here. And Charles Johnson, like you said, he's like the gatekeeper for all these up and coming young prospects. And he's really tough. He's really tough to land any kind of striking volume or really any kind of offense on. And he's tough to get out of there. So 8,800, Kavanaugh's inside the distance number is plus 385, which is pretty weak for the price. We just got done talking about Rongju, who is, plus 200 to win inside the distance, quite a bit stronger, and how that's pretty weak. Kavanaugh's is even weaker, and he's going to be owned about the same. So not really too interested in Kavanaugh here, to be perfectly honest. Johnson on the other side, He's not typically a very good fantasy producer either, unless he's, finding a finish like third round knockout against Van. But I think he's live for 75, 80 something points with like some cage control, some grappling. There are just other higher upside spots to target here. So I'm going to be mostly off this fight.
Yeah, that makes sense. JVC, are you taking a shot on Kavanaugh or Johnson? What are you doing?
Not really. I don't have a ton of interest in this fight for DFS. But I do want to touch on the fact that Ilya Topuria thinks that Kavanaugh's the guy. Topuria was on Rogan and he was like, Kavanaugh's the guy. He's the one coming up. He's going to be a star. So that seemed pretty good for me. But as far as pick 6 here, I would say Kavanaugh over 55.5 significant strikes is probably the move.
All right. Yeah, I don't mind that. I do think this goes all 3 rounds. Obviously, the way it doesn't get there is if he, finds the one shot to just put him out early. But if not, I think we get this. And I respect Charles Johnson enough to take that gamble that he can stay alive for 3 rounds and get us to a decision. I agree with you. I think he's a stud. So I love that hearing Topuria say he's the up and coming kid is that feels good. That makes me feel much better about this. But probably a fade for DFS in a decision. I don't think it's scoring well. Charles Johnson's probably not even scoring well. Like neither of them. So, all right, that's a pretty quick fight, but I think it's just not a lot of interest there. Let's go to a fight I think we'll have more interest in. Mahashante plus 105 versus Gage Young minus 125 here for Young. And one of those fights that we've talked about where they're just priced where people are going to want this fight. Young at 8,200 on DraftKings, Mahashante at 8K. Close to a pick 'em. I like this fight. I like getting over on this fight. I do think this fight is going to play out mainly on the feet, which is big because, some of the holes that we've seen from these guys have been, if they're dealing with people that can take them down. We saw in the Dana White Contender Series fight with Young where Quinlan Salkill was just whenever he wanted to, whenever he'd start to get tired or Young would have success on the feet, he'd just take him down. And it's just like Young would get up, but then he'd take him down again. It was like rinse and repeat. So I like that this fight's going to stay standing. I think it gives these guys a chance to, either volume up or maybe one of these guys finds a finish. But I will say I took the shot with the slight dog on Machete, but yeah, it's a very close fight. If you're on Young, I'm not going to argue too much either way. JBC, which side are you on?
I like Gage Young. You spoke on the takedown defense being dog shit, but Machate's not shooting fucking takedowns. So they're just going to swing in there, and I like Young striking better. At least his defense is striking.
Matt says this is the people's
main
event.
These guys are going to fucking just kill each other.
Yeah.
I could totally see it.
If there's any wrestling upside, I mean, Gage Young actually comes from a wrestling background. He's shot plenty of takedowns in the UFC so far. He just hasn't landed any of them. So I think if he's able to get his wrestling and grappling going, like Machate's takedown defense, it hasn't really been tested recently, but the times it has been tested, it has not looked good. So, I mean, I think he's definitely vulnerable to getting taken down, getting controlled, possibly getting submitted by Young. And I also just really like Young's aggression. Like, his striking is pretty rudimentary, but he has a pressure style where he will just like move forward and just keep popping jabs in your face and just keep hitting you and hitting you. I just really like that. I think Machete obviously is viable as well, even though I much prefer Young, just because Machete, he's a counter striker with a ton of power. And so if Gage Young is going to be moving forward, just winging shots at him, it's going to open plenty of opportunities for Machete to counter and land a bomb. So, this line isn't necessarily lined like it's supposed to. It's not lined like it's supposed to finish all that often. I mean, I guess it's like 50-50 here. You're going to want to finish, I think.
Yeah,
you're going to need over on the side for sure.
The over 2.5 is minus 160 on DK. So, or 65 on DK. So
Yeah, I think just with that in mind, I think the young side is definitely the side. You're going to need an early knockout from Machate. It's just a thinner path, but it's possible.
Yeah, no, it's definitely possible. I think Young, like you said, probably has the better chance of like the finishing upside for DFS, like the KO upside. So I think he's probably the better DFS play. But it's a coin flippy fight. You guys are definitely leaning Young. I lean Machate, but it's close. I get why you guys would be on Young. Not super confident. I was super confident on my boy Nicholas Mata last time out because that was easy money. He was just better. But we don't get that. We don't get that type of fighter now. We get two dudes that are gonna, I think, be very close. It's just gonna be who's aggressive late. If it doesn't finish early, who's the aggressive guy late? And that's probably leaning the Young side if it goes later in the fight. But we'll see. What about pick six, guys? You see anything for pick six you like?
Machate over on strikes.
Yeah, I like that one too. Dan, you see anything, or you like that?
Yeah, overall strikes, that seems low.
Yeah, still seem low right there. We don't even get the Young prop. I wish we had a Gage Young strikes prop, but
It's locked
yeah,
there in the bottom left.
Yeah, I know. Machete over on 60.5 significant strikes. I do like that pick six. Let's keep it moving. I'm not even going to try for the first name, but Nurjai here. Did I say that name right?
Naraji.
Yeah. Naraji. Thank you.
Naraji.
Naraji minus 500. That's two, by the way, versus Kiefer Crosby plus 360 or plus 380 on DK Sportsbook. And Crosby's a guy, he goes out there and he swings, and he's getting out early in fights. So I get this line. I get why it's what it is. You know, Kiefer Crosby's been subbed his last two fights in the UFC, first round, two quick finishes. JBC, Naraji's 9,400, Crosby 6,900. Is this one of those fights where you're over on Naraji, but you play a little of Crosby just for, you know, how he fights?
Yeah. Crosby obviously has finishing upside down there at 6,900. So I tend to want to mix him in over somebody like Austin Hubbard, even though I like Austin Hubbard more like to win the fight. I think Crosby is a superior DFS play, but Nuraji at the top is probably the best play other than Yija. You know, I think that he gets the win. I think that he gets the finish. So I'll be heavy.
Yeah, I think he's my favorite guy up there besides Ming Yang. I think those are my favorite. But Dan, what are you seeing here with this fight? Similar?
I agree with that. Yeah, Nuraji, definitely my second most exposed guy after Yija. Aggressive, rangy striker. He pushes pace. I kind of think he would be smart to kind of lean more into his wrestling and grappling. I know he's more of a striker, but he's flashed some grappling and submission skills. He's got one submission win. And Crosby is just completely lost once the fight hits the mat. I think it would actually be kind of dumb to just try to fight Kiefer Crosby on the feet because, you know, he's a brawler who's got knockout power. You're basically, if Naraji chooses to just come out and strike, he's basically giving Crosby the fight that he's going to want and giving him probably his only path to victory. But again, you can never really rely on fighters to do the smart thing. So I think he probably does come out here and strike. But all the same, he's going to have a massive size and reach advantage. And I think when Crosby tries to kind of get into the pocket to exchange, Naraji's going to punish him with elbows and knees and just fuck him up. Crosby shouldn't be in the UFC, at all. Not at all.
No.
He's terrible.
No, I mean, do we like the Naraji significant strike line? Or I know he could get a quick finish and it doesn't matter, but if he does swing with them and stay on the feet, he could get over that pretty easily.
I prefer the fantasy points.
Crosby's never been knocked out, so I think he's tough enough to absorb some strikes in the early going. But so I kind of like the over on the 6 strikes.
You like the 6 strikes? You like the fantasy points? JBC, do you not like the 6 strikes, or do you just like the
I think he may get
more?
him out at the beginning.
Oh, you think it's a quick one? Okay. All right. Maybe since we're back and forth on that, maybe we won't pick that one for our 6.
Yeah, forget about the 6 strikes because honestly, he could just take him down and submit him right off the rip as well.
Well, that's true.
No significant strikes. So
all right, fantasy points. I like that. If you're gonna take it, fantasy points more than would be the pick for this fight for pick 6. Let's keep it moving here to my favorite fight on the card, at least from a betting angle. I just think this fight is all. I don't understand it. Like when I looked at the fight, I was expecting it to be a pick'em at best, and at worst, I thought Borjas should have been the favorite. Like I don't understand how he's a plus 145 dog. I think he should be. I think this line should honestly, it should be flipped the other way, if anything. Sumo Durji at minus 175 against Kevin Borjas plus 145. I think Kevin Borjas is a great bet. I think he should be the rightful favorite. He's fought some really good guys to start the UFC. I mean, his first fight in the UFC was Joshua Van. He went to a 3-round decision. We've seen how good Joshua Van is. I mean, that dude is amazing. So going 3 rounds with him, respect that. Obviously lost, but whatever. He loses to Costa, who's got a lot of power, did get knocked out in the 2nd round, then comes back and beats Rodriguez as a dog. It's pretty good win too. Rodriguez is a solid fighter, and he was a dog. And honestly, he looked like he should have been the favorite in that fight. Kind of, in my eyes, like dominated the fight for most of the fight. I just don't understand. Like I think Kevin Borjas is good on the feet. I think this fight plays out on the feet a lot. If it did go to the ground, I mean, Sumo Durji has shown massive holes on the ground if it did. But I think it's a striking fight, and I think Borjas is better. So I'm on the Borjas side, and I like him for DFS because he's cheaper on top of it. So that's my take here. JBC, tell me if I'm wrong.
Line's moving too much. Something's up with Borjas. I like Sumo Durji.
Okay.
It's going too far. It could be like a travel, like him going over to China. It could be any of a number of things. Sumo Durji does have a large reach advantage. But I am not going to go against something that moves that much without any explanation. So I'm on Sumo Durji.
All right, Dan, same thing for you. Are you on Sumo Durji?
Yeah, I'm on Sumo Durji, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that his biggest weakness is in the grappling and wrestling, which you touched on, but Kevin Borjas doesn't wrestle or grapple, so he's like completely ill-equipped to even take advantage of that. And considering this fight probably stays completely on the feet, I think Sumo Durji is the better striker, the more dangerous striker. We just saw Kevin Borjas like fold to Alessandro Costa's pressure, got finished there, got his leg hacked to bits, and then just got taken out. So I like Sumo Durji. His inside the distance line is pretty weak. But Kevin Borjas, as long as this line movement is in that Borjas, well, I mean, even if it is that his health is fucked, that's actually better for us to get the finish. But I expect Borjas to come out and be aggressive, which is just going to open up opportunities for Sumo Durji to find his chin and put him out.
I mean, Sumo Durji just doesn't finish people though. Like he just hasn't been finishing people. He either gets finished on the ground or it's a decision. And I don't know. I think Borjas is tough. I know you said he lost to Costa, but Costa's got power. I don't think Sumo Durji has that type of power. It's not the same type of power. If he finishes him, it's like him voluming him up, and it's just the pressure like melts him. Not like KO.
I think it would most likely be a counter, just because Borjas does leave himself open to being countered.
Yeah, I still don't think he gets put out by it. I think he would have to like volume him up.
I more or less agree with you. I'm not going to be like I think Sumo Durji wins, but I'm not going to be heavy on him for DFS.
No, I don't think he scores well in DFS, although 65.5 is too low. So I like the more on the pick 6.
Third
one. Sumo Durji 65.5.
65.5 fantasy points. Okay.
Yeah, because I think he gets that even in a decision.
All right, that's fair. All right, you two on the Sumo Durji side. I'm on the Borjas side. Not as high on it for DFS. Well, if you're on Sumo Durji, because the decision probably scores you shit. At 8,500, not a good score. I do think Borjas in a decision at his price could get there, 7,700. So if he did win by decision, I think that at least has a chance of playing in the optimal more than Sumo Durji in a decision. I think you need a finish by Sumo Durji for it to hit in DFS. So that's that fight here, a little split action. Let's move to the next fight. We got two big boys going at it. Sergey Pavlovich, minus 270. Another minus 270. A lot of minus 270s on this card so far over on DK versus Waldo Cortez Acosta, plus 220 for Acosta here. Who's got, I mean, both these guys, they've got chins. They're gonna swing, they're gonna bang. We have seen Cortez Acosta be tough to, get out of there. And a lot of his fights are going later into the fight. Decisions, even 3 of his last 4 have been going to the cards. But Pavlovich does have that, if he touches your chin, he's been putting a lot of people out. But his last 2 fights, be it against better competition, has gone to decision as well. So that's probably not scoring as good if he's not getting the quick finish here. I do think Pavlovich wins. I also think, though, this fight could extend because I think Cortez Acosta is tough. So I'm on the Pavlovich side. I'm also probably lower on it for DFS just because of that here. It'd be dog or pass, I think. JBC, I assume you're with me here.
Yeah. Man, it's just I'm always against Cortez Acosta, and he always fucks me. And he wins in like the dumbest possible manner. And we've seen the type of power that Pavlovich has. It's like everything in my being is telling me to just load up on Pavlovich. So I'm just gonna fucking do it. So I'm just gonna hammer Pavlovich.
Love that. I also have been against him, Acosta, a few times, and I just come out of it like, how the fuck did he win that fight? And I just every single time.
Yeah, it's every time, and I'm ready for it to happen again. But Sergey Pavlovich, this guy was a coin flip against Aspinall. I'm with you there. He's definitely the better. I'm just worried, they all headhunt, and these guys show granite chins. They both headhunt and they show granite chins. Pavlovich has so much power.
I know. He's got that.
Pavlovich has not been the same since getting knocked out by Aspinall. He's been a lot more tentative. Even last time out, he won, but he kind of had a more wrestling heavy approach, which is absolutely not what, if you're jamming Pavlovich in DFS and he shoots a takedown, just close the app, go to bed, fucking forget about it. You're not going to get there. You need him just to remember who he is and go out there and swing bombs and try to murder Cortez Acosta with his death touch. Otherwise, the Pavlovich play is completely fucked. And yeah, Cortez Acosta has been fucking us really badly. Outside of the Despain fight, where I believe we were all really heavy on Cortez Acosta. Yeah. Which is one of the worst / funniest fights you'll ever see, because he just lays on him for 15 minutes, one takedown to start every single round.
I loved that fight. I enjoyed it. And that was the one fight I enjoyed of his out of all of his fights.
People were so I was loving it. That was a good time.
Just wrestle fuck the shit out of that dude.
Yeah. And Cortez Acosta, he's been durable, but he hasn't faced anybody with near the amount of power that Pavlovich has. He's got otherworldly power. And as far as Cortez Acosta knocking Pavlovich out, I know Pavlovich can be knocked out, but he's only ever been knocked out by Aspinall and Alistair Overeem, who are 2 other absolutely murderous power punchers. Cortez Acosta, I guess, could outwork him, and maybe get an attritional knockout just from damage over the fight, but I have a hard time
I hate him. I fucking hate him. I hate
him so much.
I want to take the.
I can see you're getting red over there, dude.
I hate him so much. Hate him.
If I look at all this pick 6, I'm honestly, I don't even want to mess with this pick 6 because this fight could go so many different ways to ruin. I feel if you trust Acosta to hang in there, obviously you'd probably the more on significant strikes. But what if Pavlovich does get him out there quick and you're sitting there less than, he only needed 5 strikes? I don't know. I don't like this one for pick 6, guys. Do you see anything?
Pavlovich over.
Yeah, I would take over fantasy points just because I think he does get the early knockout. But if he does decide to If he's like a wrestler now, then
The problem is if he wins the decision, he's not getting 75.5 at heavyweight.
I think he could.
I mean,
Yeah,
but I don't think it's nearly as likely as like a wrong Jew decision.
Yes, I agree.
I mean,
that's why I don't like it as much. I rather just play those ones.
But here's the
You know
thing.
what I mean?
He's
scored
minus
85
120.
last time out against
He's
Rosenberg.
minus one. This is a 50-50 proposition. He's a minus 120 to win inside the distance. That means the math play is on the over. Because if he wins inside the distance, he's getting 76.
All right, so you're saying take though if you're going to take this fight, take the over on fantasy.
Over on Pavlovich points, yeah.
Over on Pavlovich.
Pavlovich is going to score 5 takedowns and scored 96.
I know.
Victory lap the fuck out of it. While you're
all right, before we get to these next 2 fights, smash the like button on the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're still trying to get over that 20K subscriber. Ring the bell. Get over that 20K subscriber for us. I think we're like 5 away of 20K on YouTube. So if you haven't yet subscribed, hit that bell and subscribe to the channel so you get notified every time we go live, and hit that thumbs up on the video as well. Also, if you enjoy college football season, it is here. College football is here. It starts tomorrow. I'm pretty sure is the first slate for DFS. The boys are going to be on at 3 Eastern time on this channel to break down the college football slate. Bruce does our projections for college football. Guy is awesome. And it's not just for the Saturday slates. It's not just for the big Saturday slates. He does them for the friggin' Wednesday slates and the Thursday slate. He does them for pretty much all the slates of college football. And we do have the single sport package. If you just want college football, obviously we have the full package too, the Run Pure Premium. If you want all the sports, that's the best bang for your buck. You get all the sports. You get Saber Sim, 500 lineups, contest sims, best opto in the business. If you want that, that's the Run Pure Premium package. But if you want the single sport, we got you for college football. We got you for NFL. Check us out, runpuresports.com. Get over there and sign up now. And stay tuned for that show at 3 p.m. today, breaking down the college football slate. All right, let's get to the next fight on the card. I don't even understand how this fight is happening. It wasn't happening. It was called off and then it was back on. I mean, I don't know if it's still on. I'm worried, guys. Like, is this fight a fight that we have to worry about? Like, not going?
Nice and cozy. Sorry. That's for the grappling. When you want to fight to score low and they start hugging.
Oh, yeah. That's the best if you got the unders. That's the best. But back to this fight, Sterling and Ortega. We had missed weights. Ortega falling left and right. Guy looked like a zombie walking up for the face-off. I don't know how they're letting him fight. It looks really bad. I get it. Weight cuts can be tough on guys. He's going to feel better once he, rehydrates a little bit, but it looked really rough for him. JBC, are you worried at all about the fight just getting scratched again? Like one of those fights where we get to the DFS, it locks, and then like we hear, 10 minutes later, the Ortega fight scratched again.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's obviously a concern. It's less of a concern for me in China where they don't give a fuck. But, we all saw him. It looked bad. That said, you could still bet Aljamain Sterling at minus 375. He's
minus 455 on DK right now.
Jesus. Okay,
just
so
keeps
it's just
going.
That line absolutely cratered overnight.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, the problem is if the fight happens and Ortega's fucked up, like Aljamain Sterling's going to score 1 million. So you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. I think that a substantial amount of people aren't going to gamble on it. I assume because they're saying the fight is happening that Ortega he's okay. And, at 7,200, fuck. This fight was not that big of a mismatch to me to begin with. I hate it because it's all speculative.
I agree with you. I didn't think this fight was that much of a mismatch to begin. Honestly, I thought it was a little tougher fight because you got Ortega with the grappling and he's just always dangerous. And Aljo wants to get to your back. So he wants to get to his wrestling and grappling. So it's like, who can stay safe? And
If they tell me the fight's going to happen and we don't know if it's not before lock, I think you have to hammer Aljamain Sterling.
Okay. All right.
Because
so, like
and just
DFS
like
too?
if it gets scratched, it gets scratched. But I'm not going to like play it like I'm thinking it's going to get scratched.
Well, yeah, and on top of it,
the alternative,
it's a 5-round fight. It's a 5-round fight too that people got to remember. This isn't no 3-round fight. If it was a 3-round fight, I think it'd be easier. It's a 5-round fight. That's why it's
you have to play him. Yeah.
I feel
are
like
we fading the 5? Are we like, no, we're just not fading it?
No, I mean, I think that would be the alternative route to take, right? Like you're either going to play it like you normally would, which means slam Sterling, or you're going to try to gamble on the fight gets scratched after lock, which I'm just going to slam Sterling.
After what happened with Ortega with when Dan Ige had to come in, I guarantee you that the UFC was like, if you pull out of this fight, we're cutting you.
Well, I believe that fight he'd made the,
but then he got
made the weight and then his health failed. Like this one, he didn't make the weight and they put it at a catch weight as well. He looks so bad though, man. I said in the chat earlier, like Ortega looked like I looked like right before I quit doing hard drugs. And I mean like right before, like as I'm stepping into my first AA meeting, like that's what he fucking looked like, dude. Not good.
He looked ridiculous.
Not good.
Yeah, no, it looked very rough. That's why it's like
it looked bad.
Just know when you play this fight, though, there is a risk. DFS, when lock hits, it's locked. You can't switch after the fact. So just know that is the risk. You're playing a 5-round fight where there's very high risk. That dude just doesn't walk out. Like who was the chick where like, oh, it's Macy Barber.
But if he does walk out, then Aljamain Sterling is walking out with 130 points.
But do you guys remember DC? I think it was DC was on, and he's like, I don't know if I've ever seen it where like they're at the door and then they're like
seizure. It's crazy.
No, but I'm saying like, well, who knows? What if that happens to him? Like, what if he has like some medical emergency? That's what I'm saying. Like, what if he has a medical emergency?
That said, I am gonna play Ortega too because I'm sick like that. Like if Ortega's coming in like at 10% or less, which he might, I'm definitely fucking playing him.
If this weight cut issue didn't happen, he'd be higher than that. But with this,
but I'm saying like, how many people are not, or like, how many people are actually sick enough to play him?
Oh yeah, no, you have to be sick. I agree. Like Dan,
I'm fucking doing it.
I bet Dan jams this fight. That's my guess. Is Dan? Are you locking this fight?
I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah, I'm going 100%, and I'm definitely playing Ortega because like one of Ortega's best qualities is his ability to take an absolute fucking thrashing and then just snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Like you could soundly beat the piss out of him for 24 minutes of a fight, and then he's getting you in a triangle. T-City, baby, let's go.
I'm thinking like 70-30 Sterling.
I'm thinking like
that's fair.
80-20.
Honestly,
Ortega coming in hot, baby.
Aljo doesn't like, the thing with Aljo, he doesn't like beat the shit out of you. You know what I mean? He'll give you those kicks. It's very strategic.
If Ortega gets taken down and feels that weight on him, he might just give up.
No, he can wrestle fuck you. That's different than getting the shit beat out of you, though, which Ortega, like Dan said, Ortega's like king of getting the shit beat out of him and then like finding a way to win. I'm saying like that's not really Aljo's style. His style is to like melt you.
Ortega's definitely breaking he's doing the full Makachev cheating with the IVs. Like he's doing all of that.
I hope so.
The UFC's helping him. They're telling him.
They're telling him like, dude, just do whatever. We don't fucking care.
We just need you to fight, dude. That's all we care about.
Like, we needed big names to fight in China. Like, dude, guaranteed the people in China that are putting this on, like from the event people, like the arena people, they're just like, we'll do whatever it fucking takes to get your ass out there, Brian Ortega.
Yep, 100%. I mean, he's the biggest name on the card. Him and Sterling, right? Like,
yes.
This is easily like the best fight of the weekend, like the entire weekend. So I hope it goes, man. I hope it goes.
Sterling said it's going to be a stand. Honestly, I would have believed him if Brian Ortega was fine, because Brian Ortega is crazy dangerous on the ground. So I would honestly believe that. now, no way I believe it.
Ortega's
Now
gonna go
Sterling's
full
melt
like
him.
pull guard. Ortega just pulls
Yeah.
guard off the beginning.
Yeah, Sterling's gonna have like 8 takedowns in this fight.
Yeah,
Just like-
I actually love this from a game theory perspective because so many people are going to be scared to do it, and I'm just going to be like, "Fuck it!" Like, I'm just taking it.
Everyone's gonna be scared of Yiza and Sterling, the 2 best plays on the slate.
Yeah,
I'm terrified of this fight.
Ortega combo is going to hit like crack.
I'm terrified of this fight, but I'm probably going to end up just jamming Sterling because I don't love Rong Zhu as much, and I'm not as high on Yiza, so I like the 2 5-round studs a lot. So I might just jam those guys.
Yeah,
Ming
why
Yang
not?
And Sterling. I might just jam them. I think that's what I'm going to do and just pray to God that the fight happens. Because if the fight happens, I think I get Sterling lower than what he would be in normal circumstances. I think both those guys.
You're going to get a discount on both of them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm jamming. I'm jamming this fight. So you said 70-30, Dan. You said 80-20. That's where you're going.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love
Vip.
that.
Okay, Vip. So I did this before. Oh man, I think it was the Makachev fight against Moicano, and I walked downstairs, and my wife was like, "I'm leaving if you don't shave your entire face."
That's so funny. Like my wife, it's when I shave my whole face. She's like, "What the fuck did you just do?"
Well, no, she doesn't want me to shave it all. But when you just save the mustache and looked at it, stunning,
no, I know.
Worse.
I'm just saying it's funny.
Worse.
Like it's just funny when you do like little things that are just off to them, and then they're like, "Dude, change that right now. Like, go finish." Like,
I like to
figure that
do
out.
like the scumbag goatee or like really big handlebars.
Dude, I
Even
could see you with big handlebars, 100%. I
Oh,
could
yeah.
totally see that.
The
You
Fu
like
Manchu, I need to do the
you
Triple
look
H.
like Vince Pichel or whatever. I could
Yes.
see it.
Yes. Fuck
Golden handlebars, but like, other than that, like Vince, I could see it 100%.
Of course, B-Nair's got to make it fucking weird.
Always. That's my guy being there. That's my guy being there. Just always making it weird. It's fine. All right. Well, that's Sterling and Ortega. They don't have pick 6 up right now because
The
of
probably getting
everything.
canceled.
What would you put Sterling's over under at? Like 115?
I think whatever it is, I think it's going to be low. I think it's going to be lower than you think. If they put a line out there, I think it's going to be lower. So I think you're going to like the more at whatever line they put out because I think it's going to be too low, to be honest with you.
Love
This
that.
thing, look at Sterling's post in the Discord.
Look at Sterling.
He said, "Ready for tomorrow."
Yeah, Sterling's ready. Did you see when they like did the face off and shook hands? Like I kind of got this kind of feeling from Sterling, like he was looking at him like, "Yo, are you good? Like, are you sure?"
Yeah.
Like legitimate concern kind of came over Sterling's face. So I was like, "Oh shit, I don't know if I've ever seen that before."
Dude, it would have made me
Face off.
uncomfortable.
What's that?
It would have made me uncomfortable, dude. Although, you know what? Sterling fought Dillashaw when Dillashaw's shoulder was fucked up, and he didn't give a fuck.
Dude,
Nick
you know what's
says
so funny,
yesterday the line was 109.5 when it was up
too? Okay.
That's
for
going
pick
over.
6. I told you're gonna like the line no matter where it is. You're definitely gonna like
You're
the
gonna put him
over.
He's
in
going
that.
to score 150.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely has that in him too.
Dude, speaking of the face off and the walkout, though, the funny shit is like on the UFC Twitter, like they first did the one that's just like the dead on view. So you see them meet, they turn, whatever. And that one is really funny. But then Dana goes and posts on his account the view of Ortega actually up. He's like, he looks like he fucking rolled his ankle in the back, dude. He's just
limping.
like hobbling
He looks like
out
he's on
there. Like,
drugs.
yo, this man is unwell.
Dude, what if he keeps it up through the entire walk to the ring, the limp, gets in there, and then he's fine?
He just does like a Michelle Pereira breakdancing routine. Gotcha.
He's just gonna pull guard. It's gonna happen. He's just gonna be pulling guard constantly. He's like, fuck this.
He might win.
Yeah, you never know.
That's what they count
Before we
as
break down this last fight on the card, I want to shout out our guys, Bruce Rubio, who crushed the preseason content last night at Run Pure Sports. We had some members take down some big prizes, including Baker BI. 35K, just under 36K in winnings, and he had under $1,000 in play, $888 to be exact in play. I saw some people saying stuff on Twitter about 15K to win 33. No, sir. Under $1,000 put in play, 35,000 plus in winning. So shout out to him. Shout out to Baker for smashing preseason. I know Rubio and Bruce both crushed the content. And that's what you get with the Run Pure Sports Premium. You get all the sports. If you get the Run Pure Premium, you get every single sport. You don't have to worry about it. Preseason, it's all covered under it. Also, our guy Blarney Boys, 5K. He won the 333 contest. Just had one lineup too. Won the 333 and came in fourth in the 15 for $6,500. And he had $48 in play. It's not a bad day. So that's preseason NFL. All right. We're not even at the regular season yet. And we got a preseason slate tonight, a preseason slate tomorrow, a big, probably a dual slates tomorrow too. So a few slates going for preseason. College football on Saturday as well. We got MMA starting at 3 a.m. Obviously, you guys are watching it. That's why you come to Run Pure Sports. It's not just for one sport. It's for all the sports. You get all the sports. Run Pure Premium. Sign up now. JBC 100K win. I think it's still live. If you want to get a free month, you can use code JBC 100K win. It only works though if you sign up for a monthly package. So you got to sign up. You got to be a new member. You got to sign up for a monthly package. JBC 100K win. This is the best time. Check it out now with all these sports starting up. It's the best time. So Dan, move your cat. He's ready to go for the main event fight on the card, which is not as good as the fight we just talked about. We got, Johnny Walker somehow fighting in the main event here, plus 280 on the money line over at DK Sportsbook versus ZHANG Ming Yang. Ming Yang minus 355, coming off of 3 straight first-round finishes in the UFC for Ming Yang here. It does kind of feel like they're setting this guy up good. It's in China. Getting Johnny Walker, who, has a tendency to start out outside of his last fight, start out crazy, wild, get knocked out. I think that probably happens here. I like Ming Yang. I think Ming Yang is the DFS play. Doesn't mean you can't play some Walker because he is unpredictable, but I'm going to be jamming the Ming Yang side. JBC, what are you doing?
So Ming Yang was like a plus 600 underdog against Tokos when he first debuted on Road to UFC, and he got the knockout, obviously. Gets the knockout in the first round in his first 3 UFC fights, all against people who suck. I am not convinced he deserves to be a minus 375 against anyone, much less somebody with the power of Johnny Walker who can knock him dead very easily. To me, this fight is it's not like a dead coin flip, but it's flippy. I like Johnny Walker a lot. I'm betting Johnny Walker heavy. 6,800, way too cheap. The upside is infinite. Johnny Walker could be the highest scorer on the slate. So I'm probably for DFS going to play this close to 50-50 and just hammer Johnny Walker.
That's fair. I mean, if you're 150, and I definitely would play some Johnny Walker. I wouldn't just slam Ming Yang. Even if you like Ming Yang, I would definitely get some Johnny Walker because, like you said, he does have upside.
I think it's going to end in the first minute. It's going to end in the first minute either way.
Yeah, I think it's going to end in the first round too. I don't know the first minute, but it could be the first round. And I like it. I like the take. I mean, you're probably right. The line probably is a little wide. It is in China. Ming Yang, he's going to be the popular guy.
The judges aren't going to matter, so it doesn't matter that it's in
not.
China.
Yeah, it's not going to matter. So you're right about that. But I get why the line is where it's at. What I'm saying, it's just more like it probably should be a little closer. It shouldn't be as wide. So I totally get what you're saying there. Dan, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, this definitely seems like a setup fight, right? It's in China. They got Zhang Ming Yang, who's probably their best male prospect. And Johnny Walker dies hilariously. There's a good chance that they just go out there, swing in the middle, and then Zhang hits him with some shit that makes him do a cartwheel before he flops over and dies, which, that's just what Johnny Walker does. But like Mark said, like Johnny Walker's got power too, and he's been facing much, much better competition. Like he's been getting murdered, but he's been getting murdered by Volkan Oezdemir, Magomed Ankalaev. He beat Anthony Smith, Paul Krebs, Ian Kudalaba. Like, what do we think Zhang Mingyang? What do we think happens to Zhang Mingyang against any of those guys? He's probably getting deaded as well. So I'll probably be a little heavier on the Zhang Mingyang side. I mean, my stuff is just absolutely jamming him because of his finishing numbers, but I expect that gets flattened out a little bit once I start putting kind of like ownership caps on things and need to start getting a little different, because I am going to be mostly jamming Sterling, and I expect him to be like, even if people are going to be scared off, he's probably still going to be at least mid 40s. So
I think he's going over 50 still, Sterling.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not going to be, it's going to be a little more difficult to jam the both of them. So I probably favor jamming the Sterling side and being a little bit heavier on Walker.
Yeah, for pick six, I did have
over on pick six. Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote this up for the DraftKings Discord too. I write up a few pick sixes every Friday for them and drop them in the Discord. And Mingyang was fantasy points over. It was 92.5 this morning. It's now up to 93.5. I think it's going to go up even more. Probably like 95, 96.
Well, he's
by
minus
the time
375, and it probably ends in the first round. If it ends in the first round, he's getting more than 93.5.
He's getting 100 pretty much if it ends in the first round. So,
right.
Yeah, I think this line should be like literally 99.5, and it's 93.5. So I like the more. I'm with you.
I feel like Johnny Walker is the type of guy that you could punch one time and score 2 knockdowns off of.
So Dan's saying it's gonna smash the over.
What's funny about the Mingyang number 93.5 is, to me, 93.5 is the same as 50. Like that 35.5 for Johnny Walker to me is the same as the 93.5, because whichever one wins is getting more than 93.5.
Yeah, like Johnny Walker ain't getting no 35.5.
That ain't happening. Yeah. Yeah.
No fucking way.
JSU, you're muted.
So right now for pick six, we do have 6 on the board right now. We have long 62.5 significant.
Take long over. Out and put in Mingyang over.
Take long out. Is that, Dan, you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that. Let's take him out. All right. So we got Nurgazai, takedowns under, Pereira, fantasy points over, Rongju, fantasy points over, 77.5. Loner Kavanaugh, over on 55.5 significant strikes. Machete, over on 60.5 significant strikes. And Mingyang, over on 93.5 fantasy points. You guys see anything we're missing that we should add or take out? What do you think?
No, that looks good to me.
Yeah, man. Let it rip.
All right. So I'm going to bet this, and I'm going to post it in the Discord over at Run Pure Sports, and I'll tweet it out too for the people that aren't in there. If you're not in there, you should get in there when you sign up for any of the packages. Just link from the website into the Discord. It's really easy to do, and it's one of the best things we offer. Premium Discord, a lot of sharp people in there. You can ask JBC, Dan, myself, Big T, all the guys over there. You can ask them questions, add them right in the chat. You can shoot us DMs if you guys have any questions. You don't want to throw in the chat. You can shoot us a private DM and ask us whatever you want, regarding the slates, bets, everything like that. And JBC posts all the bets in the Discord as well. So all the bets for every single slate of pretty much every sport you get over there. So get ready, because college football, he fires like 150 bets on a Saturday. So get ready. I can't wait for the just list of 1,000 bets, JBC.
I'm ready for it.
Guys, you heard what JSU just said, right? His DMs are open and you can ask him anything. So take advantage.
Yeah, that's right. That goes for Dan too. If you want to ask him about, whatever you want, that goes the handlebar mustache, the golden stuff. Yeah, just ask away. Ask him if he's betting another old in DFS or if he's fading all the olds from now on. You can ask him any of that shit. Yeah, see, Binaire, yeah, you really take advantage of that. You got to take advantage of it. It's important being there. All right, that's going to do it for this card. I'm going to bet this, and then we'll post it as well here. Favorite bet, guys, overall for the people before we get out of here. You got a favorite bet? Bang. Look at that.
My favorite bet is Zhao Long money line.
Oh,
Piece of
damn,
shit.
that's a good one. Dan, were you going to give that too? Because I think I was going to give that too.
That was mine. I'll take Nurgajai money line.
Nurgajai.
What were you taking?
Nurgajai money line.
Oh, Nurgajai money line. Okay. I'm gonna go with, because I was gonna go with the long. That's a good bet here. I'm screw it. I'm going with Kevin Borjas plus 145. We're gonna take another dog here. Take another shot. So, and you can put those together. Let's see what we get.
Well, hold on one second. Aljamain Sterling is plus 300 inside the distance still.
Wait, is he?
Let's see. Is he?
Plus
He
two,
is
plus 200 now.
Oh, it's down to
Yeah.
200.
Yeah, DK.
I mean,
has it
that's
at
still pretty
200,
good. It's
so-
still pretty good.
I'm still pretty good.
That's not bad. Yeah, plus 200. Okay. If you added up our three bets, you could plus Aljamain Sterling at plus 200, you could get 30-1 on your
There you
parlay.
go.
Oh, there's a little 30-1 ticket right there if you want a little fun parlay from the show. I like it. I think we're on a good path for the show. I'll post this, like I said, in the Discord and on Twitter. Guys, good luck in your DraftKings, DFS, and bets. Make sure you guys check out Run Pure Sports and smash the like button on your way out. If you enjoy the show, if you enjoy the free content, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, get notified every time we go live. Appreciate you guys watching. JBC, Dan, myself, good luck to you guys as well, and we'll see you next week. We're out of here. Peace.